So for data collection, the guidelines are, these are sort of the five elements that you need to know for data collection. Who actually knows when these fallouts happen? A lot of times, staff are the only ones that know it when it happens. So they've got to identify the problems. The key is, how can they identify it in such a way that doesn't take up their time, or at least as little of their time as possible? How do we aggregate it daily? The OR is a great example because circulators are in individual ORs, right? So you know how many turnarounds you've had. You know how many of them took 25 minutes. But if I'm your coworker in OR 7, you don't know what I've had. So how are we supposed to do this communally? We've got to aggregate it somehow. What do we want to learn about these fallouts? You and I have got to be on the same page. The whole team has to be on the same page about what question we're asking. These are all diagnosing questions, but if you're looking at the fallouts by, well, which surgeon was it with? And I'm looking at it by, well, why exactly did it take 25 minutes? Was it instrumentation? We've got to be learning the same thing at the same time. And then, of course, how are we going to populate the given board and who's going to present? Standard work for data collection, right? So this particular OR answered every one of those questions. It started with the circulator. And the cool part about a circulator is that at this OR, they all kept those cards, those Medline cards in their front pocket to take notes on. So it was easy enough for them to just make tallies. Every time it took greater than 25 minutes, they'd make a tally and a little indicator for what the reason was.
Gotcha.
And then they turn in those cards in a basket at the end of the day. Somebody aggregated it. So this is the one that I really wanted to spend time talking to you about. So this 5Y action plan is so important because this is how, if you teach this consistently and correctly, this is how you're going to be able to identify when a Gemba board has stagnated, when they are no longer getting value out of an individual metric. When they first start a metric,